As we approach this Valentine's Day, many of you may be wondering just what it takes to make a Filipina fall in love with you, and even more important, remain in love with you. I went to the source and asked several Filipinas what they find desirable in a man. So, if you want to make sure that Cupid's arrow hits its mark this season, hold on to your quiver, guys, because you're about to find out. Class is in session. If you are looking to attract a good woman in the Philippines, it's easier than you might think. And the key is not a super fat wallet and a six-figure income that their sisters in the United States seem to demand these days. If that's what she wants, you have caught the wrong fish. Throw her back into the pond. There are many more palatable options in the waters of the Philippines archipelago. So here is what I have learned in researching this very important subject. And item number 10 is one that surprises most Western men, but it will sweep her off her feet. Here we go. To make a Filipina happy, you must first, number 1, feed her. As funny as that sounds, there is a big cultural aspect to this. When Filipinos gather socially, there is almost always a lot of food around. In fact, if you visit a Filipino home, they feel obligated to feed you, even if their cupboards are nearly bare. It is the socially responsible thing to do. And let's face it, if that beautiful brown-eyed creature is famished, she's not in the mood. She will be hungry for a snack or a meal, not hungry for you. Number 2, be generous. Hey, wait, Rick. Didn't you just say that the good Filipinos aren't after your money? The generosity I'm speaking about is at a whole different level. An occasional box of chocolates or a few flowers will do the trick. They just want to know that you care and you are thinking of them. That's all. This brings me to an interesting story involving a couple of my friends. My buddy from the United States met a Filipina neighbor of mine about 2 years ago and decided to propose. So they went to a nearby mall and looked at engagement rings. She looked in the display case at all of the diamond rings and kept shaking her head. Too expensive, too expensive, too expensive, she said as she kept moving down the row of cases. Finally, her eyes brightened and she pointed to one. "That's the one I want," she said excitedly. Later, when we got together, my buddy asked me a question about the exchange rate, because he didn't have a clue. He told me he spent about 900 pesos. It was cubic zirconium and not a diamond, but that was the ring she liked. Buddy, you dodged a bullet. For the record, that's about 18 US bucks. But she is happy, they are happy, and as of 2 days ago, she landed in the U.S. on her K-1 fiancé visa. Number 3, make her laugh. Humor is sexy. Filipinos love to laugh. They don't take life, which sometimes can be pretty difficult here, too seriously. They've discovered that laughter is the best medicine when times get tough. It's also the prescription to make her want to be with you. Don't be too serious. Your looks aren't everything. Laughs are more valuable. Number 4, take her on a date. It need not be expensive. Your time is what is important. Spend time at a coffee shop or take her to a cinema. If you are lucky enough to live near the ocean, a sunset stroll along the beach or along the waterfront is absolutely free. Remember, she wants your time to really get to know you. Number 5, listen. When she speaks, pay full attention. It's just a sign of respect. God gave us 2 ears and just 1 mouth for a reason. Look into her eyes as you listen to her dreams, desires, or just what occurred during her day. That eye contact validates her. Number 6, be nice to her family. The Philippines culture is heavy on family ties. This, I believe, is where this country far outshines America. The family bond is of the utmost importance. 3 and sometimes 4 generations can be found living in close proximity, and occasionally all in the same house. So if you want to impress your Filipina girlfriend, impress her family. It's a good sign she's interested in you for a long-term relationship if she invites you to meet her family. It's your time to shine. To be sure, they are sizing you up to see if you will fit in with their tight-knit clan. So don't disappoint your Filipina girlfriend. She's counting on you. And remember, they will no doubt bring out lots of food, perhaps something you would never have considered eating. But be gracious and at least try it. Number 7, be sweet. Take off those grumpy pants, mister. You are looking into the eyes of one of God's most alluring, pleasant, and caring creatures. Filipinas are known for their sweetness. All you have to do is reciprocate, and she will remember that. Number 8, compliment her. Whether it is a nice comment on her dress or hair, a small compliment can have a huge impact. If she has done her best to look good for you or made you a tasty snack, let her know you noticed and appreciate her efforts. You will be glad you did. Number 9, be honest. Never, ever give your Filipina any reason to doubt your honesty. Demonstrate your honesty at all times, and it will gain her trust. You will need that trust, because as crazy as it sounds, one of the ways a Filipina shows that she loves you is through her jealousy. From the moment you meet, she might take your hand as a signal to all the other Philippines within sight that this man is taken. So, if you are busy and don't always talk, especially in long-distance relationships where you're only video chatting, she will wonder, what's up? Don't make her jealousy worse than it already might be. And here is that secret weapon I was talking about. Number 10, the Monery. I had never heard of this one until I arrived in the Philippines, but it is something that will tug at a Filipina's heartstrings. In fact, it might just be the arrow in your quiver that seals the deal for good. When you first meet her, make a mental note of the date, but don't say anything about it. Then, when the 1-month mark rolls around, do a little something special for her. Take her out on a date or send flowers or candy if you were geographically apart. And be sure to mention that this was the day of the month that you first met. You have just celebrated your Monery, a special day in the heart of many Filipinas that is totally ignored by most Western men. The gifts or the date need not be expensive or fancy, because the Monery is celebrated each month up until the anniversary date of your meeting. Then the anniversary is a much bigger celebration, and by then Cupid should have done his magic. Happy Valentine's Day. Class is dismissed.